Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you read the title, you know that this is going to be about the worst dates that I have been on. I've been on a lot, but so this video wouldn't be too long, I decided to just narrow it down to 4. I got me a glass of wine, so go get you a glass of wine, popcorn, something, so you can enjoy this story time with me, I guess. Before we get too far into the video though, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. And if you haven't watched my other videos, go check those out too. And for the ladies, if you want to see a makeup tutorial on this kind of like fall inspired look, leave me a comment or shoot something to me on Instagram or something like that, and just kind of like let me know if you want to see this little fall glam, I guess you can call it. But anyway, let's jump right in. So first things first, every person that I go out on a date with or I talk to, they all get nicknames. So to protect the identity of these fellas, just in case they happen to watch this video, they all gonna get a nickname, okay? So like, for example, I have nicknames that, like, when I'm talking to my friends, a guy has a nickname. If I'm talking to my mom, he has a nickname there. And then like when I'm talking to him, actually he has a nickname. So like, for example, and he's gonna know who I'm talking about, this one gentleman, when I talk to him, I call him Pork Chop. But when I talk to my friends, his name is Arkansas. And when I talk to my mom, his name is Cancer Man. So yeah, in this video, we're gonna use, like I said, nicknames to protect their identities. You know, don't want to shame nobody, or do I? But anyway, okay, so the first day, and they're not like in order from like worst to not so bad, so I'm just gonna like jump right into it. The first guy we're gonna talk about, we're gonna call him Mr. Quick Trip, because that's where I met him. So one night, me and my friend were out, we were drinking, I was a little tipsy, walking into the store trying to like top off the night. So we grabbed a couple of Angry Orchards, or like a 6-pack or whatever they come in, I think 6-packs, just kind of top off the night. And this guy is walking out of the store. Mind you, he's like tall, dark skin, nice teeth, like my type. And so we leave out of the store, we're sitting in the car, and he like gets my attention and he asks me out on a date. So he decided that we would go to TGI Fridays, like downtown or uptown. I don't know which one it was, but anyway, we meet up there and date's going good. We talk and laugh and stuff like that. And next thing you know, he pulls out his phone, and that's like dating no. Like, don't pull your phone out on no first date. We've been dating for a while, cool, but even still, like, don't have your phone out the whole damn time. That's rude. So he pulls his phone out and he was just like, oh, my uncle is on his way up here to pick up some food. I'm like, okay. So his uncle shows up and we're sitting like in the bar area. So where our booth was, the to-go pickup area was like right across from us. So his uncle shows up and he speaks or whatever, and I'm like, hey, nice to meet you, whatever. Well, next thing you know, uncle gets his food and I'm thinking he leaving. No, he comes, sits down with us, starts taking his food out the bag, and joins us on this date. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I'm like, all right, don't get upset. Like, maybe his family is just close. I don't know, trying to make up excuses for the dude. So as the date goes on, it's like his uncle is like trying to hit on me. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what you and your family do, but in me and mine's like, that ain't cool or nothing. You know, like, why are you trying to hit on me in front of the dude I'm actually on a date with? Like, what type of stuff is this? So uncle pretty much stays on the date with us the whole time, never leaves, eats all his food, all of this. And I'm just kind of like annoyed at this point. So I'm like, whatever. So we get ready to leave and he walks me to my car and I'm like, okay, he's being a gentleman, whatever. We get to my car and we're talking and he's just like, you have a really nice car, which I do. And he was just like, you should let me drive it one day. No one drives my car, except for maybe my mother. And she doesn't like my car, so she doesn't drive it. So I just kind of like laughed it off, like, ha ha, yeah, okay. So then he goes on to say, well, it's an event next weekend, and right now I'm driving my aunt's car because I don't have a car. So you think you could let me drive your car next weekend so, I can kind of stun a little bit? What? You want to what? And so I was just like, I asked him, I was like, are you serious right now? And he was just like, yeah, let me borrow your car. And he was just like, it's just going to be me and a couple of my friends. We're going to be riding through the city. I'll clean it up for you, put gas in it, da 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 da. No. No. So at this point, I'm just like, you know what? It's been cool. Like, I'm good. Like, nice to meet you. Like, trying to give him hints like this isn't going anywhere. He didn't catch the hint. So every day up until the weekend, he's texting me. So, like, are you gonna let me borrow your car? Like, I really need it. It's really nice. Like, I just want to stun a little bit. No, I'm not. Y'all, I ended up having to block him. Like, he pretty much like kept texting me and texting me and texting me. And then he texted me like after the weekend saying, well, I think up that you wouldn't let me borrow your car. It was only for the weekend, this, that, and the other. It's that you asked me to borrow my car. Okay, so day number 2. We're gonna call this guy Gold Digger. So this guy, I sell insurance for a living, and I was at one of my mom's accounts working, and he came and sat down in front of me to talk about insurance or whatever. So I'm going over everything, and while I'm going over everything, he starts like hitting on me, and I'm like, oh, that's cute, whatever, but I'm not supposed to be talking to people, at my accounts or at, accounts and stuff like that. So he goes on and on and on talking about some, let me take you out, let me wine and dine you, let me show you how a real man's supposed to treat you. So I was just like, all right, screw it, let's do it. So I get in his truck and like, he was like, well, I'm just gonna drive us around the city first before, we go eat. And I'm like, cool, we can talk, ride around, whatever. So we pull up to Burger King and I'm like, okay, you're whining and dining me at Burger King. I don't have a problem with Burger King because as soon as we pulled up, I already knew I wanted a Whopper with cheese with no lettuce, pickles, onions, or tomatoes. Pretty much meat, bread, and cheese. So we go into Burger King and he like steps in front of me and I'm like, okay, he don't even know what I want to eat because like most gentlemen know, and if you don't know, you're about to learn that when you go out on a date with a woman, you're supposed to either ask her what she wants and you order for the both of you, or you let her order first and then you order after her. So he ain't do none of that. He goes up to the counter and he orders his little Whopper. And then the woman said, is that all for you? And he's just like, yeah, that's it. And he swipes his card. And I'm like, oh, so you ain't gone? Okay. So we head to the movies and he does the same thing. He pays for his movie ticket and he steps aside and I pay for mine. And I'm like, is this your definition of wine and dining? If this is what a real man does, and I don't want a real man because a real man wouldn't do that. I mean, if you wanted to go out on a play date or something like that, or just say like, hey, let's just meet up, kick it for a little bit, see if we even jive before we like even go out on our first official date, I'm cool with that. But you legit just sat up here and said, oh, I'm a wine and dine you, let me just show you how a real man. Okay, so we in the movie or whatever, and of course, in movies you really can't talk like that because you're trying to watch the movie. So we sitting there watching it and he pulls out his phone. So I'm like, okay, maybe he has like an important text message, something or another. So I just ignore it. But then I notice his phone is still out. And I'm like, it's been like 10 minutes now. So like most females, I had to look. And so I'm looking. Why is this man looking at half naked women while he on his date? Legit, like, video vixen women while he's on a date. Is this what a real man is? Like, if so, I don't want it. Give me a fake one if that's what one is. Like, you legit almost looking at porn while you out on a date with me. Like, if you're not interested, say that. We could have ended the date. You know, whatever the case may be. My feelings ain't hurt. Cool. So next day I'm at work, same place, and he's there. And I just politely, like, send him a text message and say, hey, like, this not gonna work for me. Like, I don't like your definition of a real man. I didn't appreciate, you know, how you acted and how you treated me on a date. Y'all, he was like a straight up girl. He sent me this paragraph about how I was a gold digger. I just wanted him for his money, and I should have been grateful that he even took me out on a date. Y'all, I didn't know what to say. I'm just like, I'm a gold digger, but I paid for my whole portion of the date. Like, you ain't paid for nothing. I ain't asked you for nothing, but I'm a gold digger. Like, how? Like, if y'all understand that, please, like, leave me a comment. Let me know, explain, because I don't get how I'm a gold digger when you ain't spent no money and I ain't asked you to spend no money on me. Like, I ain't asked you to buy me no bag or nothing. Like, you the one popping off like, oh, I'm gonna show you how a real man's supposed to treat you. No, sir. So, needless to say, you know, that didn't work. But then, y'all, so he bought some insurance for me. Did you not know he canceled that? He played with my money. That really pissed me off. Like, the whole date situation pissed me off, but the fact that he canceled his insurance really pissed me the hell off. Okay, date number 3. We gonna call him, I don't know what to call him. Like, we just gonna call him an asshole. So, I met this asshole driving down the road. He tried to race me. He was driving a Challenger. And I was driving my old car, my Chrysler 300. I swear it was like a Corvette or something, and I could race any and everything. So we driving down the highway, and he like pumping his little gas, making all that dang noise and stuff, trying to flex. So I'm like, okay, so we gonna race a little bit. So we did. And he ended up, like, we got to like this little area that was like off the freeway or whatever, or not really off the freeway, but it was coming into town. So he pulls into this gas station. So I was like, okay, I'm pulling to the gas station too. Cause like when he passed by me, I saw he was kind of cute. So I'm like, I'm gonna pull up in here too. So I'm sitting in the car and I'm just like, okay, I know he see me. You're not gonna come speak? So I was like, all right, let me just go get out of the car and go say something to him, because it seemed like here in Dallas, that's what guys do nowadays. Like, they won't approach you, you have to approach them. So I go and I say, hey, you know, when we talk, we exchange numbers, go through that whole little ordeal. And so after we talked for a little bit, like a couple days, he was like, let's go out on a date. Cool. So at this time, I think I was like 21, 22. I was still living with my parents. So he was like, I'm gonna come pick you up and we'll go to a movie, yada, yada. So he comes to my house and I open the door and my mom was like in her bedroom and she was coming out and she had her laptop because she was working on some stuff. This fool, so I don't like call him something else, he like looks at my mom talking about some, what you doing, trying to Google me? Now, if you know my mama, you know my mama don't do the fool with. Like, she will catch an attitude real quick and go ahead and put you in your place. So she looked at him with that, like, that look like, who you talking to? And she said, I wasn't, but I will. And so he just kind of like laughed it off, and I'm sitting up here like, oh shit. So they talk a little bit, we talk a little bit, and as we getting ready to go out the door, like, my mom is walking to the door so she could lock it, and she tells him, she was just like, that's my baby, you make sure you take care of her. Do you not know this fool like looks at me up and down, talking about some this? Mind you, I'm dumb as a box of rocks. I should have been insulted, but I'm sitting up there like, eh. So we walk out to the car. He opens the door and I get in. And then as he's walking around in front of his car, like he's in my mom's driveway, he stops and looks at the house. And he was just like, it ain't got no plates on it. It's brand new. Ha, ha, ha. And I was like, what is that about? So my mom was in the window looking, trying to get his license plate number because she was just like, this fool crazy. So we get to the movies and he orders popcorn and a drink. And it's like a big size thing, popcorn, but he orders one drink. And I'm like, I could have been thirsty. I stay thirsty. Like, I want a drink too. So we go into the movie, we watching the movie. So I get ready to reach my little hand over there to give you a little popcorn. He hit my hand, talking about some, no, you get it when I'm done. Let's just say this movie was real long because I was real heated. Because I'm just like, how the hell you gonna get popcorn and tell me I get it when you get done? Who the hell are you? So he gets done. Why he hand me that bucket of popcorn? Ain't nothing in it but a few little popcorns and kernels. Are you kidding me? I ain't getting no soda. I'm like, you real rude. So he drops me back off at the house. Y'all, he ain't like walk me to the door. He didn't do nothing. He was just like, all right, bye. You rude. I'm just like, okay, like, if you're not interested, there again, let me know. It won't hurt my feelings. Like, don't be an asshole about it, you know? So we text a little bit after that. Well, no, the next day, me and my mom got into it because she was just like, how could you even go out on a date with him? Did you see the way he was talking to me and how he looked at you when I said protect you and da-da-da-da? He ain't about nothing, this, that, and the other. And I mean, this argument, it was like one of the worst ones me and my mama done had because it was pretty much her saying like, you worth more than that. You shouldn't have to deal with that, or you shouldn't be putting up with no BS like that. But I was young and dumb, and I was just like, but mama, he can't. Thank God for growth. But yeah, so about like maybe 2-3 months later, I'm in Firehouse Subs eating lunch with a coworker. And mind you, this dude, when I first met him, he told me he was a coach, like a football coach. So rewind, like I said, 2 months, maybe 3 months after our first day, our last day, I'm in Firehouse Subs and I'm like looking at the TV and they were just like, Dallas Cowboys, such and such, arrested for public intoxication. I was just like, dang, that name sound familiar, but they never showed a picture. So I Googled. This fool that I went out on a date with was a Dallas Cowboy. And I'm just like, okay, you lied about what you did, which I could get. You know, you don't want nobody that's like gonna try to use you for your money, but you real entitled. Like, I guess you thinking because you a Dallas Cowboy, you can treat people any way you want to. Boy, you riding pine. You ain't even one of the main players, and you sitting up here trying to treat me. Oh, you get this popcorn when I'm dead. Oh. And before we move on to like the last day, I forgot to tell y'all. This asshole told me that when we first met, when I was getting out the car to like approach him because he couldn't approach me, he tells me, he was just like, when you got out the car, I was really hoping that you wasn't fat because if you was fat, I would have drove off. That is so rude. Like, are you kidding me? If I was fat, you would have drove off? Like, last but not least, and I don't know, like, I feel like this is the worst one, so I hope y'all like actually made it to this point. We're gonna call him Green Shirt. So I met this dude online. Black people meet. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you want to, go ahead. So I met this dude on Black People Meet. And we went out and, well, he asked me like what I like to do, stuff like that. And I was just like, I'm pretty much down for, anything, as long as it's fun, not boring, So he was just like, well, let's meet up at Dave and Buster's. And I'm like, all right, cool. I like to play games and stuff like that. Like, no big deal. We can eat and play games. So we get there, mind you, he picked this place. So we sit up at the bar and he starts like, we looking at the menus or whatever, and he starts going into how it costs so much, this, that, and the other, like these prices are so high, and I don't think it used to be this high, and do they not have any specials, and like it shouldn't be this much for Dave and Buster's. And I'm like, you picked the place. You could have Googled, looked at their menu, saw the prices before you picked it. So I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, okay, when we get done, I'm just going to tell him, hey, I'll pay for my own food. Don't worry about it, since, it's more than what you expected. Now, this guy, he's like, calls the waiter over there, weren't your prices cheaper and this, that, and the other? And I'm just like, oh my God, you are like, he starts harassing our waiter. And I'm like, dude, gonna spit in our food. I'm gonna be eating spit because you sitting up here complaining about the prices of the place that you picked. I didn't pick this place. So once we get over that hurdle, we're talking, and at this time, like, I was still driving my Chrysler, and I was like to the point where I wanted a new car. And so we were talking about cars and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, I want a new car. And I was just kind of telling him what I liked and what I wanted. And he was just like, well, I have an extra car. You should buy my car. And he goes into like car salesman mode and like trying to sell me his car. And he's like, I'll even give you a good price. I won't even charge you what I'm charging or what I'm trying to charge other people. So he was just like, I can go get it and come right back. And it's like $5,500. And, that's a good deal. And it's this, that, and the other. The car has this many miles and da, da, da. And I'm like, I don't want your dang car. So we get over that. And he starts talking about, yeah, I just went to the doctor and they told me that my sperm count was good and, that I can have babies and, I'm not shooting no blanks, this, that, and the other. This is our first date. Why are we talking about your sperm count? Do I look like I want to have your babies? I don't need to know that. If this was like we had been dating and we serious, then yeah, we married. Yeah, we need to talk about that. But first date, I don't want to know about your sperm count. So after the whole dinner ordeal and his sperm and his car salesman pitch, and then we get the check and he's still complaining about the prices, the Dave and Buster's that we went to was actually in a mall. So he was just like, let's walk around the mall. And I was like, all right, cool. I like to shop, so let's go. He was like, let's go to the Buckle. Mind you, you just got done complaining about Dave and Buster's prices. The Buckle ain't cheap, it ain't expensive, but it ain't cheap neither. So we get in there, and he looking at shirts, and he complaining, why are these shirts cost so much? And because he said he needed a green shirt. So he complaining about the prices of the shirts. And I'm like, okay, well, it's a JCPenney's and a Sears. It seems like you trying to ball on a budget. We can go to either one and you can get you a cheap green shirt. Like, why are we in the Buckle? So he picks out like 4 or 5 shirts and he trying them on. Like, what you think about this? What you think about that? And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, whatever. So we go to the next store because, of course, he didn't buy nothing. And we go to the next store, which was like Sears or something like that. And he trying on all these green shirts. And so I'm like, okay. Finally, I'm just like, why do you need a green shirt? Oh boy. This man tells me, oh, after this, I'm going to a party. And he was just like, how it works is if you're like taken, you wear red. If you like in a situation, you wear yellow. But if you single, you wear green. So you got me up here looking for a shirt so you can go catch you another B word. Are you kidding me? So I'm like, so we walk into Dillard's and I'm like pissed because I'm like, you really got me in here shopping for a shirt so you could go pick up another chick. Like, you want a chick's opinion of what looks good on you so another chick can pick you up. You trifling. So we walk into Dillard's and he was just like, we need to look over here. And I was like, how about this? You look on that side of the store. I'm going to look on this side of the store. We'll meet in the middle. Y'all, he went on that side of the store. I politely found my way to that escalator, went down to my car, and I left. This fool texts me. Well, no, he calls me first. Like 20 minutes later, and I ignore. I'm just looking at the phone. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. Ignore. So then he texts me, hey, I don't know what happened. Where are you? Did you find me a shirt? Let's meet by the cologne. Like, why? What are guys thinking? I'm really not understanding. Like, guys, what? Do y'all not think? Like, I don't know. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, especially y'all Dallas dudes. Like, y'all got issues. Y'all need to work on them. One, don't ask a girl out on a date and you're gonna be on your phone the whole time. Two, don't try to sell her a car, drive her car, borrow her car. Three, don't be an asshole. It's okay to be nice, okay? So those were like some of my bad days. Like I said, been on a lot, but those are the ones that I can like really remember. I'm pretty sure y'all have went out on some that were way worse, but those were some of mine. Like, if y'all been on like some bad dates, like, let me know. Put something in the comments. I want to read them. I want to know like what it is y'all went through, ladies and fellas, because I know y'all done been on some bad days too. Y'all done had some women with some funky weaves or something. Like, y'all gotta let me know, okay? But yeah, those are some of my bad dates. But I guess I'll end it on like my best day. We're gonna call him Quick Trip number 2. I met him at Quick Trip. Guess you just meet all the men at Quick Trip. But anyway, met him at Quick Trip and we went out on a few dates, but my favorite one was our second date. We went to California Pizza Kitchen and we ate, then we walked around the mall, and then after that, like, we window shopped. But after that, we sat in his truck, we talked for like hours, and then he was just like, hey, let's go to the park. And I'm like, okay. Cool, bet. Mind you, like, when we decided we were gonna go on this date, we just both said like, hey, we ain't about to get all dressed up. We ain't about to be all fancy. He had on basketball shorts and a t-shirt. I think I had on a t-shirt and some jeans, like no makeup. Real chill. But like I said, after the whole walk around the mall, sitting in his car talking, we went to the 7-Eleven. We got something to drink. And then we went to like this little park that was down the street that he Googled while we were sitting in the truck. And we walked around and we just talked. And then after that, we sat on the back of his truck. He played music and we talked. Y'all, that date was like, 10, 11 hours long. Like, it was so chill. Like, guys, you do not have to do much for a woman. Like, the simple stuff, going to the park, getting ice cream, like, we like that type of stuff. We don't always have to go to the fancy restaurants you spend a lot of money. Like, it's not necessary. Like, that was the best date for me, just sitting, chilling, getting to know somebody, vibing. So yeah, that has been the video. That concludes it. Like and subscribe, like I said earlier, and y'all will see me in my next one.